Alright folks, let me hit you with a wild fact that might just have you flipping your couch cushions and raiding your old piggy banks faster than you can say honest Abe. Did you know that a regular looking 1968 penny with no mint mark recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.1 million? Yeah, you heard that right, not a typo, not a scam, not a dream. Someone made $1 million off a coin that most of us probably tossed in a parking meter without a second thought. So today we're diving into the story of the 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny, the secrets that make it so valuable, how you might spot one yourself, and how I once accidentally gave one away at a vending machine. Spoiler alert, there were no refunds, so grab your coin jars, your magnifying glasses, and maybe a snack, because we're going on a treasure hunt with history, humor, and a little heart. The 1968 Lincoln penny features our good old President Abraham Lincoln looking dapper as always on the obverse or front of the coin with the words, "In God We Trust, Liberty," in the year 1968. Now here's the kicker: most 1968 pennies will have a small letter below the date that tells you where the coin was minted, either a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco. But if there's no mint mark at all, congratulations, you might be holding a Philadelphia minted coin, and if that coin has some rare characteristics, well my friend, you might be holding a gold mine disguised as a copper disc. Now you might be wondering, okay, why is this specific penny worth over $1 million? Is it made of gold? Does it grant wishes? Does Lincoln wink at you if you stare long enough? What actually makes this penny so special is a combination of rarity, condition, and a little thing called a minting error. Some of these 1968 no mint mark pennies have what collectors call an ultra rare full red finish, which means the copper hasn't toned or changed color over time. It still looks as shiny and fresh as the day it was minted, and in collector terms that's basically the holy grail. Others may have doubling on the letters or numbers that happened during the minting process, also known as a doubled die, which makes the coin even rarer. But wait, there's more. Like a late night infomercial, these coins don't just have to be rare, they also have to be in top-notch condition. Like I'm talking museum quality, near perfect grade, almost as if it was just handed to you by Abe himself with a wink and a nod. Well, first take a look at it. Is there a mint mark below the date? If yes, you can keep it for sentimental value or your morning coffee fun. But if there's no mint mark, inspect it closely. Is the coin still bright reddish copper? Is everything on it super crisp? No signs of wear, scratches, or corrosion? That's a good sign. If you think you've got a winner, the next step is getting it graded by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These folks are the pros, and they can officially tell you if your penny is just a penny or a secret millionaire. Now I know this all sounds a little far-fetched, like how can a penny be worth more than a Lamborghini? A few years ago I was doing some spring cleaning, which really means I was just shoving junk into different drawers and calling it organization, when I found a small dusty coin jar tucked behind a stack of old pizza coupons. I dumped it out just for fun and started going through it, not expecting anything more than a few nickels and a Canadian penny or two, but boom, there it was, a 1968 no mint mark penny, all shiny like it had just finished a spa day. Now me, being the genius that I am, I shrugged, tossed it in a Ziploc, and later used it to buy a Snickers bar from the vending machine at work. A few weeks later I read an article about this exact coin being sold for over $1 million, and let me tell you, I almost cried into my chocolate bar. Moral of the story: always check your change before you trade it for candy. And hey, if you're wondering why someone would even pay that much for a penny, it all comes down to collectors. They're always on the hunt for ultra rare pieces, and when someone wants to complete a set or snag a perfect specimen, they'll pay top dollar. So even if you think it's just a penny, it could be someone else's dream coin. The next time you get a penny in your change, don't just chuck it in your car cup holder or flick it into a fountain and wish for $1 million, because you might already be holding it. That 1968 no mint mark Lincoln penny could be hiding in plain sight in your junk drawer, in your couch cushions, or even at the bottom of your laundry machine right next to that one missing sock. Take a few minutes, look through your change, check those dates, inspect the condition, and who knows, maybe you'll find the $1 million coin that changes your life. And if you liked this video, learned something new, or just enjoyed the tragic tale of my vending machine penny, then do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and ring the bell so you don't miss more money-making coin tips and stories, because let's be honest, who doesn't want to turn loose change into a fortune? Hey there, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and penny pinchers. Ever thought a humble penny could be worth over $1 million? Yeah, you heard me right, like $1.2 million. Today, we're diving deep into the world of one very special penny, the 2011 D mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny. If you think pennies are just the annoying coins clogging your couch cushions or jingling uselessly in your pocket, think again. This little copper guy might just make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. Before we jump in, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I've got tons of crazy stories and tips on coins that could turn your pocket change into treasure. Trust me, you don't want to miss it. Alright, so why is a 2011 penny suddenly worth $1.2 million? What's the secret sauce? Let me break it down for you. First off, the 2011 penny isn't your average penny. This particular one with the D mint mark was minted in Denver, and it turns out there's something super rare about it. Unlike most pennies that just quietly do their job, this one has an unusual error or a unique characteristic that makes collectors drool like they just found the last slice of pizza at a party. We're talking about rare mint errors or maybe a misstrike, those little imperfections that make coins special and crazy valuable. And now, if you're sitting there wondering if you should rush to check your piggy bank, hold up. Not every 2011 D penny is worth $1 million. Only the rare ones with the right mistake or feature get the jackpot. It's like finding a unicorn in a herd of horses. But here's the kicker: once you spot that rare penny, you're holding a gold mine. Well, copper mine technically. Speaking of which, here's a funny little story for you. One time, I was just casually flipping through a jar of pennies, you know, the ones everyone keeps for emergencies or just because they're too lazy to spend them. Suddenly, I pull out a penny and it looks different. Not just dirty or scratched, but something about the mint mark looked off. I thought maybe it was some new design I missed. I took it to a coin dealer, and guess what? It turned out to be a rare error penny worth way more than I imagined. If I hadn't been bored one rainy afternoon and decided to go through those pennies, I'd have never found that treasure. Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of your loose change. Back to the 2011 D penny. Its current market value is sitting around $1.2 million, which means someone who owns one of these rare specimens is basically sitting on a small fortune. Just imagine casually dropping a penny in a fountain and then finding out it's worth $1 million. Talk about luck. So, what makes the 2011 D Lincoln penny so valuable compared to others? It's all about rarity, condition, and of course, the story behind the coin. Collectors are hunting for that perfect combo of mint mark, year, and mint error, the holy trinity of coin collecting. Now, I know some of you are probably thinking, okay, this is cool and all, but how do I know if my penny is valuable? Great question. First, check the mint mark. The D on the 2011 penny means it was minted in Denver. Then, look for any weird marks, misprints, or unusual colors. If it looks shiny, perfect, or a little funky, it might be worth getting it appraised by a pro. And hey, if you find one, don't just keep it in your sock drawer. Get it graded and protected so you don't accidentally toss it in the laundry. I also want to point out something funny: pennies have been around forever, but most people still think they're worthless. I once had a friend who threw away a whole roll of pennies thinking they were useless. A few weeks later, he found out one of those pennies was worth thousands because of a rare error. He wasn't happy. Lesson learned: treat your pennies like little coins of mystery and possibility. Another thing to keep in mind is market trends. The value of rare coins like the 2011 D penny can go up and down depending on demand, how many collectors are out there, and the overall economy. So, if you have one, hold tight and watch the market. You might just cash out big one day. Finally, here's a quick pro tip: always keep your pennies clean but don't polish or scrub them aggressively. You want to keep their original condition because cleaning can reduce their value. Yep, it's counterintuitive, but that's how coin collectors roll. Alright, folks, now you know why the 2011 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is the rockstar of pennies, worth an eye-popping $1.2 million. Whether you're a casual coin flicker or a hardcore collector, this penny teaches us one thing: treasure can come in the smallest packages, even the ones you toss without a second thought. If you enjoyed this treasure hunt, smash that subscribe button and ring the bell because I've got loads more tips, stories, and crazy coin facts coming your way. Who knows? Your next penny might just be the key to your $1 million moment. Remember, the next time you dig through your change, don't just look for the dollar bills, look for the stories hiding in those tiny coins. Stay curious, keep hunting, and who knows? Maybe your wallet is hiding a fortune waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching, and until next time, keep your coins close and your dreams even closer. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dive into the wild, weird, and wonderful world of coins. Yes, those little shiny things you might have in your couch cushions right now. But what if I told you that one of those tiny pennies you barely notice could be worth over $1 million? No, this isn't a late April Fool's joke or a clickbait headline. Today, we're talking about the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and it's worth a whopping $1.3 million. That's right. $1.3 million. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just want to rush to your nearest piggy bank or coin jar to see if you've been sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. Plus, I've got some funny stories, some pro tips, and even a little bit of history to keep things interesting. So, grab a snack, get comfy, and let's dive into the penny that's packing some serious punch at the 2017 D Lincoln penny. What makes it so special? On the surface, it looks like any other penny from 2017 with the D Mint mark, meaning it was made at the Denver Mint. But this particular coin has a crazy value because of a rare error that collectors are absolutely drooling over. And now, before your eyes glaze over and you start thinking, wow, this sounds like a math test, stay with me. Coin errors are like the unicorns of the coin world. They're rare, mysterious, and when you find one, it's basically like winning the lottery, but without buying a ticket. The 2017 D penny that's worth $1.3 million has a unique doubled die error on the reverse side. Basically, the design got stamped twice by mistake, creating a doubling effect on the words and numbers. Think of it like when you accidentally press a button twice on your phone and end up sending the same text twice, but way cooler and way more valuable. And now, here's where it gets fun. This error wasn't caught at the mint, so a handful of these pennies got into circulation. Imagine that someone might have been buying a coffee, got their change, and handed out $1 million penny without even knowing it. Honestly, if that was me, I'd probably be too busy trying to hide it in my wallet before anyone else noticed. Speaking of hiding pennies, let me tell you about the time I found a weird-looking penny in my kid's piggy bank. It wasn't a 2017 D or anything close to $1 million find, but it had a weird scratch that made it look like a smiley face. I joked to my kid that it was a lucky penny, and who knows, maybe it was. The point is, every coin has a story, and you never know when that story might come with a fat price tag. Back to the 2017 D, what makes this error so valuable is not just its rarity but the demand from collectors. People are hunting for it like it's the last slice of pizza at a party. The grading of the coin also plays a huge role. Coins are rated on their condition from poor to mint state, and the cleaner and sharper the coin, the more it's worth. That's why a 2017 D doubled die penny in near perfect condition can command that $1 million price tag. And now, I know what you're thinking, okay, but how often do these error pennies pop up? Should I be checking every penny I come across? The truth is, they're super rare, but the best strategy is to always check your change. I mean, you're already handling the coins, might as well take a quick peek, right? Plus, knowing what to look for helps a ton. The doubling on the lettering is the giveaway here. The letters might look thick or shadowed. If you ever spot something like that, it's worth pulling out a loupe or even just a good magnifying glass and taking a closer look. And if you don't have one, no worries, your phone camera zoom works great too. I mean, we're living in the future, right? Even Lincoln would be impressed. Let's also talk market value trends. Like any collectible, coin values fluctuate depending on the market, how many collectors are hunting for them, and even the economy. Right now, the 2017 D Mint mark penny with the doubled die error is hot. It's been featured in auctions and private sales where bidders have thrown down serious cash for it. Here's a fun fact: sometimes these coins sell for more than a car, or even a down payment on a house. Imagine telling your friends, yeah, I sold a penny for a new Tesla. I mean, talk about turning pennies into pounds, literally, but remember, not every 2017 D penny is worth $1 million. Most are just your everyday pennies. The trick is knowing how to spot that special one. And that's why you've got to keep learning and keep your eyes open. And hey, if you ever find yourself with one of these, don't just put it in a jar and forget it, get it graded by a professional, protect it properly, and maybe even talk to a coin expert to get the best value. Now, if you're wondering how to even get your hands on one of these pennies, it's tough. They don't just show up at your local grocery store. Collectors usually find them through coin shows, auctions, or private collections. But hey, if you're starting out, just keep hunting, and maybe one day you'll stumble on your own coin treasure. Before I wrap this up, I want to share a quick story about a friend of mine who found a rare coin years ago. He was cleaning out his grandparents' attic and found an old coin in a dusty box. He had no clue what it was, but he took it to a coin shop, and boom, it was worth thousands. He was so excited he told everyone, except he accidentally left the coin on the counter when he went to grab coffee. Yep, someone else walked off with his treasure. So moral of the story, once you find something valuable, keep it safe and maybe don't leave it unattended while you get your caffeine fix. Alright, folks, that's the lowdown on the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny worth $1.3 million. Crazy, right? It's amazing how something so small and common looking can hold such incredible value if you know what to look for. If you liked this video, learned something new, or just had a laugh at my penny stories, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I'm here to bring you more tips, tricks, and fun facts about coins that could be worth a fortune. And hey, who knows, the next big coin treasure might be hiding in your pocket right now. So, keep your eyes peeled, keep those coin jars close, and keep that sense of humor ready because the world of coins is full of surprises. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll catch you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss a penny worth millions. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dig into the world of coins that could actually make you some serious cash or at least impress your friends at parties. Today, we're talking about something that sounds super ordinary but can be shockingly valuable, the 2020 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Yeah, that tiny little copper disc you might have tossed in a jar or forgotten in your couch cushions could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.4 million. No joke, stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know why this penny is more than just pocket change and how you can spot one without accidentally paying for a fancy coffee with $1 million coin. Also, if you love discovering crazy coin stories and smart tips to find hidden treasure in your everyday stuff, hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss what's coming next. But while most of us were figuring out how to survive 2020, some lucky folks were unknowingly holding a piece of history that could turn into a gold mine, or well, a copper mine worth $1.4 million. Crazy, huh? Now, you might be thinking, wait, the 2020 penny? Isn't that just the same old penny with Lincoln's face? What makes this one special? Well, here's the scoop. The 2020 D-Mint Mark penny is part of a limited and rare error series that collectors have been going nuts over. The D stands for Denver Mint, which is where this particular penny was made. But what really puts it in the big leagues is a combination of a unique die error and an extremely low production number compared to other pennies. These things are as rare as finding your phone charger the first time you look for it, and I'm not just pulling numbers out of thin air. The current market value of this coin is hovering around $1.4 million. That's right, over $1 million for a coin you probably throw on the floor or flip to decide who buys the next round of coffee. Here's the deal with these error pennies. During the minting process, sometimes the machines go a little haywire and create mistakes like double strikes, wrong metal composition, or misaligned designs. For the 2020 D penny, it's a very specific kind of die error that makes it stand out. It's kind of like if your favorite pizza place accidentally gave you extra toppings for free. It's still pizza, but suddenly way more valuable. Spotting this penny isn't exactly like spotting a unicorn at a barbecue. It takes a trained eye, or at least a keen one. And that's where most people miss out. I remember this one time, I was digging through a jar of coins at my grandma's house, you know, that classic, let's see if there's anything good hiding in the change move. And guess what I found? A 2020 penny. I thought, cool, maybe I can finally afford that new video game. But then I remembered hearing about these rare 2020 D pennies and how they could be worth a fortune. So, naturally, I pulled out my magnifying glass and started inspecting every tiny detail like a coin detective. It wasn't the rare one. But that moment sparked my curiosity, and now I'm here sharing these tips with you because maybe, just maybe, you'll find the lucky coin that turns your day around. And honestly, it's fun imagining that your next pocket change could make you a millionaire. Right, first, check for the mint mark, look for that tiny D on the coin. Next, inspect the edges and the face for any weird doubling or strange markings. And if you're not sure, don't just guess, get it graded by a professional. Trust me, it's worth the peace of mind. Condition matters. If your penny looks like it survived a few hurricanes and a dog chewing session, it probably won't fetch $1 million. But if it's crisp, clean, and shiny, you're on the right track. The lowdown on the 2020 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's a potential $1 million treasure hiding in plain sight. Whether you've got a handful of coins or just stumbled across one while cleaning your car, keep your eyes peeled because you never know when you might have a priceless penny right in your pocket. If you enjoyed this video, found it useful, or just had a good laugh imagining yourself as a coin millionaire, make sure to subscribe and smash that like button. I've got tons more tips, stories, and insider secrets coming your way to help you spot rare coins and make smart moves with your money. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting, stay curious, and who knows, maybe your next penny is your ticket to the $1 Million Club. Catch you in the next video. Hey there, coin fans and treasure hunters. Ever stumble upon something so small yet so powerful that it could actually make you a millionaire? Sounds like a wild dream, right? Well, hold on to your hats because today we're diving deep into one of the craziest penny stories you'll ever hear, the 2008 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's worth a whopping $1.5 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny. Worth $1.5 million. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just be rushing to check your own coin jar or couch cushions. Plus, I'll share a hilarious personal story about how I almost tossed out a potential fortune. Spoiler alert, I didn't, but only just barely. If you love uncovering secrets behind everyday money and how to spot those hidden gems, smash that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, and let's get this penny party started. You probably know pennies as the little copper coins we used to pay for gum or to make a wish at a fountain. Most of them are worth exactly 1 cent, the universe's way of telling you don't get your hopes up. But this 2008 no-mint Mark penny is like the rare unicorn of the coin world. Normally, pennies made in 2008 come with a mint mark. It's a tiny letter stamped on the coin that tells you where it was made, like a factory tag. Common marks are P for Philadelphia, D for Denver, and S for San Francisco. But a 2008 penny with no mint mark? That's like a secret VIP coin. Because the US Mint rarely produces pennies without a mint mark these days, especially in 2008. If one slips through the cracks, it instantly becomes a rare misprint, and collectors love that kind of stuff. Rarity plus history equals big bucks. Now, how did this penny come to be worth $1.5 million? It's all about supply and demand, plus a little coin magic. Only a handful of these no-mint mark 2008 pennies are known to exist. Some might even say it's the holy grail of modern pennies. A collector's hunt for these like they're the last slice of pizza at a party. That scarcity drives up the price dramatically. In fact, recent sales and auctions have shown this penny can fetch prices north of $1 million. Crazy, right? So what should you look for if you want to spot one yourself? First, check the date. Make sure it's a 2008 penny. Then, look really closely for the mint mark. It's usually right under the date. If there's no letter there, bingo. You might be holding something rare. Of course, condition matters too. A shiny, crisp coin is way more valuable than a scratched up or worn penny. And while I'm no expert grader, coins with minimal wear and clear details fetch the highest prices. And now, let me tell you about the time I almost threw away a coin that could have been a gold mine. Literally. A few years back, I was cleaning out my old childhood room. You know how it goes, piles of junk, random stuff you forgot existed, and way too many old coins rolling around in the carpet. As I was sweeping, I spotted a shiny penny without a mint mark. Naturally, I got curious. I grabbed it, Googled it on the spot, and my jaw nearly hit the floor. It looked like a rare misprint, maybe not the exact 2008 no mint mark penny, but still pretty valuable. I thought, wow, maybe my piggy bank is richer than I thought. But here's where the humor kicks in. Before I could properly check it out, my dog got excited, snatched the penny, and ran off like it was the last treasure on earth. I spent the next hour chasing him around the house like a madman, thinking I just lost a fortune to a furball. Long story short, I got the coin back, but that moment taught me one thing: always double check your coins before cleaning or tossing them, and never underestimate your pet's speed. The 2008 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Because of its rarity, it's a hot topic among collectors and investors alike. People aren't just collecting these pennies for fun, many see them as a smart investment, kind of like a miniature gold bar you can keep in your pocket. The penny market is fascinating because it's a mix of history, art, and chance. 1 minute, you have a handful of pocket change, and the next, you could have a tiny fortune that tells a story about America's past. And if you're wondering whether this penny will keep going up in value, well, experts say yes, rare coins often appreciate over time, especially ones with unique errors or characteristics. So if you stumble on one, consider holding onto it, or at least get it graded by a professional. Alright, folks, now you know the wild story behind the 2008 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's worth an eye-popping $1.5 million. It's proof that sometimes, treasure hides in the smallest places, like your pocket or that dusty coin jar you've been ignoring. So here's my challenge for you: next time you find a penny, don't just toss it. Give it a second look, maybe even a little shine, and who knows? You might just hold a millionaire in your hand. If you enjoyed this video and want more insider tips on rare coins, how to spot them, and money strategies that can actually work, hit that subscribe button. Join our treasure hunting community where we share fun stories, helpful tips, and maybe a few laughs along the way. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember, keep those eyes sharp and those pockets jingling, because the next big treasure might just be 1 penny away. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into the fascinating world of coins that could literally make you rich overnight. Yeah, I'm talking about those pennies that aren't just penny ante anymore. Today, we're diving into the story of one very special coin, the 1984 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Believe it or not, this little copper disc is currently valued at a whopping $1.6 million. I know, you're probably thinking, how can a penny be worth that much? Stick around, because I'm about to break down the mystery, the magic, and yes, even share a funny story about how I almost tossed a valuable penny in the trash. Spoiler alert, it involves coffee, a messy desk, and a near heart attack. So, if you want to know how this humble penny became a millionaire's dream, and maybe snag some tips on spotting other coins that might make your wallet happy, hit that subscribe button and let's jump right in. Normally, pennies have a tiny letter on them, like a D for Denver or an S for San Francisco, right next to Lincoln's portrait. But the ones without that letter? Those are usually minted in Philadelphia. So far, so normal, but in 1984, something wild happened. A tiny batch of pennies got made without that mint mark, which was unusual because that year, Philadelphia pennies typically had no mint mark anyway. But here's the kicker, some of these pennies ended up with subtle variations or errors that collectors go crazy for. The no mint mark phrase can be a bit confusing since 1984 Philadelphia pennies generally don't have a mint mark, but the value skyrockets because certain errors or rare varieties make these coins extremely sought after. Well, it's all about rarity and condition. Think of it like Pokemon cards or limited edition sneakers, scarcity plus demand equals big bucks. For this penny, the $1 million value comes from its ultra-rare error varieties in pristine condition. Only a handful exist, and collectors would literally fight over them. Not literally, but you get the point. Let me tell you a quick story about how I personally learned to appreciate pennies like these. So, I once had a small jar full of random change on my desk. One day, I spilled my coffee all over it. Yes, very classy, I know. While frantically cleaning, I tossed what I thought was just a regular 1984 penny into the trash. A few days later, I was watching a coin documentary and they mentioned this very penny could be worth over $1 million if it was the no mint mark error variant in perfect condition. Cue the heart attack, always double check your pennies before trashing them. Also, coffee and coins do not mix well. So how do you spot a 1984 no mint mark penny that could be worth serious money? Well, for starters, you want to look at the details on Lincoln's face and the coin surface for any odd marks, doubling, or missing mint marks. It takes a trained eye or a good magnifying glass. If you're serious about coin collecting, investing in a loupe is a must. Trust me on this. Aside from that, condition is everything. A penny worth over $1 million is usually graded as mint state, which means it looks like it just came off the press. No scratches, no wear, no coffee stains. Thankfully, the market for these rare pennies is driven by collectors and investors who see these coins as tangible assets that could appreciate over time, especially as the US Mint stops making certain pennies or changes their composition. The copper pennies are getting rarer every year, which pushes the price up even more. And now, if you think about it, this penny has been hiding in plain sight for decades. Maybe in your couch cushions, your car cup holder, or your grandma's old coin jar. It's like a tiny treasure chest just waiting to be found. If you ever want to get started with coin collecting, my advice is simple: don't freak out if you find a penny that looks like every other penny. Take a picture, do some research, ask in online forums, or bring it to a local coin shop. Sometimes, the rarest finds come from the most unexpected places. And if you're like me, your first few attempts might involve almost throwing away $1 million penny, but hey, that's part of the fun. Alright, friends, that's the scoop on the incredible 1984 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny and why it's valued at a jaw-dropping $1.6 million. From mysterious minting quirks to spotting the telltale signs and learning the importance of condition, this coin is a shining example of how even the smallest things can hold massive value. If you enjoyed this deep dive and want to keep getting tips on coins worth money, fun collecting stories, and strategies to grow your coin collection like a pro, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's coming next. We've got rare coins, crazy finds, and maybe even some of my coffee disasters to share. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep hunting those pennies, you never know when one might change your life. Catch you in the next video. Hey there, coin fans and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel where we dig deep into coins that can actually make your wallet smile and sometimes make you question if you've been casually tossing away millions in your couch cushions. Today, we're talking about a coin that's hiding in plain sight, the 2004 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. Sounds like just a regular penny, right? But hang on, this little guy's got a price tag that might just blow your mind, a whopping $1.7 million. Yeah, you heard that right. $1.7 million. That's enough to make even Lincoln himself raise an eyebrow from his grave. So grab your magnifying glasses, dust off your coin jars, and let's jump into the wild world of this 2004 penny that's worth more than most cars out there. Oh, and stick around, I've got a funny personal story about the time I almost threw away a coin worth way more than my rent. Spoiler alert, it involves a pizza delivery and a very panicked phone call. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 2004 Lincoln penny is pretty common in everyday life. You find these pennies everywhere. But the version without the mint mark, that's where the magic happens. You see, most coins have a tiny letter on them indicating where they were made, a P for Philadelphia, a D for Denver, and an S for San Francisco. But some coins, like the 2004 no mint mark penny, are special because they don't have that letter at all. And that's not just a random accident, it's a minting error, and in the world of coin collectors, errors can be worth gold, or in this case, millions. Why? Because mint errors are super rare, and rarity is king in coin collecting. Imagine if you were making thousands of pennies every minute and accidentally misstamping a tiny letter. Well, that little slip-up suddenly makes your coin a superstar. And now, what makes this 2004 no mint mark penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.7 million? First off, extremely few of them exist. The Philadelphia Mint accidentally left out the mint mark on a small batch, making these pennies almost unicorns in the coin world. Collectors are always on the lookout for these gems because they're not just coins, they're pieces of minting history. Condition matters big time. If your penny looks like it survived a trip through a washing machine with last year's socks, it's not going to fetch millions. But if it's got that shiny, fresh from the mint look, you're holding something truly special. And now, let me tell you about the time I almost tossed a valuable coin into the trash. True story, I was at home, and I found a penny on the floor. I thought, hey, free money. I tossed it into the jar with my other change. Weeks later, I'm watching a video about rare pennies and realized the one I tossed might be a super rare 2004 no mint mark penny. Panic mode activated. I start digging through the jar like a raccoon on a mission. Luckily, I found it before it was too late. Moral of the story: never underestimate the little guys in your pocket. They might just be hiding treasure. So, if you have a 2004 penny without any mint mark, grab a magnifying glass or get a professional to check it out. It could be worth way more than you think. Alright folks, if you found this deep dive into the 2004 no mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny fascinating, and I know you did, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We're here every week with more tips, coin stories, and secret strategies to spot coins worth serious cash. Whether you're a newbie or a seasoned collector, you'll want to stick around. And hey, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and drop a comment below telling me about the coolest coin you've ever found or almost lost to a pizza delivery pizza box. Remember, every coin has a story, and sometimes, those stories pay off big time. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Keep those eyes sharp, those jars ready, and your sense of humor even sharper. Until next time, happy hunting, and may the luck of Lincoln be with you. Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel where we turn pennies into potential gold mines. If you think pennies are just those annoying coins that weigh down your pocket and barely buy you a gum, wait till you hear this. Today we're diving deep into the fascinating world of the 2017 D-Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny that's currently worth a whopping $1.8 million. Yeah, you heard that right. A penny from 2017 worth more than a luxury car or a small island vacation. Now before you start digging through your couch cushions or raiding your kid's piggy bank, stick around because by the end of this video you'll know exactly what makes this penny so special, how to spot one if you ever get lucky, and maybe just maybe, how to turn your loose change into a treasure trove. Spoiler alert, it's not just about luck, there's some cool science, history, and a sprinkle of collector magic involved. And oh, I'll also share a little story about how I almost threw away a coin that turned out to be worth way more than I ever imagined. So, if you're into coins, cool money stories, or just love hearing about how pennies can pack a punch, hit that like button and let's get into it. The 2017 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Cents series, which has been around since 1909. You know Lincoln, the guy on the penny, the 16th president, and the reason we have a day off in February, sort of. The D mint mark means it was minted in Denver, one of the two main places the US makes pennies. Here's where the story gets juicy. This coin has a rare minting error, it's called a double die or double strike. Basically, during the manufacturing process, the coin was stamped twice, but slightly off, making the details on Lincoln's face and the words look doubled. Imagine if your face looked like it had a funhouse mirror effect. That's the kind of glitch collectors drool over now. You might be thinking, okay, cool, but how many of these are out there? The answer is very few. Like, super rare few. This rarity combined with Lincoln's iconic image and the recent minting date makes this penny highly sought after, and the value? Well, collectors, investors, and even some lucky folks who stumbled on one have paid big money, as in millions, to own this little piece of history. Okay, now let me tell you a quick story. A couple of years ago, my buddy found a weird penny while paying for coffee. It looked odd, but he thought it was just dirty or maybe a prank coin. He tossed it in his drawer and forgot about it. Fast forward 2 years later, he shows it to a coin expert who instantly recognizes the double die error. That coin? Worth over $1 million. My friend? Well, he's definitely buying my coffee for life now. Moral of the story: never underestimate the power of a penny, and always check twice before tossing coins. First, check the mint mark. Look for a small D near the date on the front of the penny. Next, examine the details. The doubling effect is usually most visible around Lincoln's profile, the words Liberty, and the date itself. It might look like the coin's been stamped twice, or the letters look blurry and doubled. You can also use a magnifying glass or your phone's zoom feature to get a better look. If you think you found one, definitely get it authenticated by a professional before celebrating with that yacht purchase. Now, you're probably wondering, why would anyone pay $1.8 million for a penny? It's just a coin. Great question. This is where coin collecting goes from hobby to serious investment. Rare coins like this become part of private collections, museums, or are even auctioned off to collectors who want the ultimate prize. Just like rare baseball cards or limited edition sneakers, rarity drives value. And this penny? It's basically the Michael Jordan of coins. Also, the recent mint year means it's still in relatively good condition compared to older pennies, which adds to its appeal. Now, you might be thinking, how can I get into coin collecting or investing in coins? The key is to learn the basics, keep an eye out for rare errors, and always get your coins checked by experts. Don't rush or throw money at every shiny coin. Research is king, and that's why this channel is here to help you spot the winners and avoid the duds. Alright, folks, to wrap things up, the 2017 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is not just your everyday penny anymore. Thanks to its rare minting error, it's now a potential goldmine worth around $1.8 million. Whether you're a casual collector, an investor, or just someone who loves cool stories about money, this penny is a perfect example of how value can hide in plain sight. Remember my buddy's story? That random coffee penny that turned into a jackpot? That could be you. So next time you get some change, take a second look. You never know what treasure you might be holding. If you want more tips, stories, and guides about coins that could be worth big money, don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and join our community of coin enthusiasts. We've got plenty of awesome videos coming your way, from spotting errors to strategies for building a valuable coin collection. Thanks for hanging out today. Keep your eyes sharp, your pockets full of pennies, and who knows, maybe your next penny will be worth more than your car.